Hey everybody, Bombastic Bill here. So, I know I didn't make a flat earth video last week, not because I was busy or anything. Trust me, I'm really not busy during the weekends. Weekdays I am. Like for example, tonight an hour, I actually have to go to Walmart to do some studies. Um, so funny, I get to work at Walmart without working for Walmart, which is probably a good thing. Um, The reason I wanted to talk to everybody is now I know I don't tell everybody where I am located, but I'll probably give it away right now because I got to take part in a historic election yesterday, and I was very, very surprised this morning when I found out that the person I voted for, Ted Cruz, actually won. Um, I was. My dad is one of the funniest people I know. If you've ever met him, he's me and my brother think he's the real Larry David. Um, he was born and raised in Brooklyn, and even though he's not Jewish, he's Italian, but he could pass. Trust me. Anyway, his story is that when he was after he graduated high school, he joined the post office and delivered mail to the Trump building, and Donald Trump's dad gave him a compliment once, so that's why he's voting for Donald Trump. Now, I'm sorry, Dad, but that's not a good enough reason for me to vote for somebody. Second reason I wouldn't vote for Donald Trump is because I just fundamentally do not trust him. I do not believe what he says. I think he's very arrogant. People always talk about how he speaks, truth to power and stuff like that. I don't think he's telling the truth though. I think he's fundamentally dishonest. Now I do admit, I might have explained my politics before. I am conservative. I see myself as conservative. I see myself as Republican. However, I do believe that the rise of Donald Trump is completely the Republicans' fault. Um, when you are given an opportunity to basically fight against an opposition party, aka the Democrats and Barack Obama, who has such a partisan streak in them, who have no record of trying to cross the aisle and work with the other side and bring about a new age of unity, as one presidential candidate said. One two-time presidential candidate said. Then I think if you get in office and you do not do a single thing that you promised, then I think people are correct in looking for a change. However, that means that you should still research who you want to initiate that change. Now, if you think it's going to be Donald Trump, I think you need to do a little bit more research and think of what the man's views used to have been. So he used to be pro-choice, now he's pro-life. He used to donate heavily to the Democratic Party, now he's trying to run as a Republican. And now I'm not going to try to misquote him or anything, but paraphrasing a quote I heard him say in a response to a question. Basically, he said that he's portraying himself one way for the primary, and if he actually gets elected as president, he'll obviously, change his tone. And I think he would be almost worse than, a rhino, a Republican in name only, because you really wouldn't know what he was going to do. Like I think the only person he cares about is himself. He would look out for himself. Um, so whereas I think Barack Obama cares not only about himself but also his ideology, I think Donald Trump's a little bit more dangerous, and I really don't think he has an ideology. He just thinks that he knows, or he thinks he knows what's best uh, for the country. So I was very, very happy to see that Ted Cruz won yesterday. It's kind of weird because I totally thought my vote was going to be wasted yesterday. I had people telling me to just vote for Trump because it was going to be inevitable. But no, I went and it was nice to see, when you vote for somebody to have them win, which the past two presidential elections have been kind of a letdown for me in that arena. Just one other update. I will be going to Amsterdam in May, the second week of May, so there will be a bombastic bill from the Netherlands coming up in May. So you do not want to miss that. The unfortunate thing is I'm going there for work, so I don't know if it will be as fun as if I was going there for pure pleasure, as it were. But this will be my second time there for work, and the first time I was there for work, I did actually have fun. Not as much fun as I probably would have had if I went by myself, but it was still a good time. So yeah, I hope to do a little bit more science stuff. For example, the thing I'm working on at work right now is a very interesting idea. It's basically, how do we recreate a retail environment in a controlled environment like a lab? And it's a very tough question because a retail environment, a field trial environment, is supposed to be random. You're not supposed to have control over it. If we did, I'd love it. I'd love to meter how many people walk on a test floor at Walmart. But then again, we wouldn't be able to sell products that hold up in reality. We'd have to monitor every customer that bought from us. So it's a really, really hard question. Now, what we're trying to do to solve this question is do something a little different than we've done in the past. So for about 20 plus years, we've been doing things the same way when it comes to our products and in the floor care market. So I'm hoping that by collecting as much data as possible, like I'm doing tonight, actually the night before, a week ago, me and two coworkers each did 240 gloss readings. So basically checking the shininess of the floor. Yeah, it took about 3 hours to do that. The reason we took so much, and it wasn't we were taking on huge areas, we were just repeating it over and over again. And the reason we were doing that is because we were doing what's called a gauge R&R, or an MSA, a measurement system analysis. Basically, we're trying to see if what we're doing is correct. So I guess that's one thing I could make this a parallel to flat earthers. For example, when a flat earther says, hey, I see the earth and I don't see a curve in it, it's got to be flat. It's a little different when in science, when we go, hey, if I take the gloss of the floor, that's the gloss of the floor, right? That's good enough. No. You get 3 people to take duplicate readings. That means they take a reading, take the template back off, put it back on, and take it again. Why do you get duplicate readings? To make sure that when you have your measurement system analysis done, you know that you are doing it correctly. And only if your part-to-part variation is less than about 25%, then you can say, okay, I have a repeatable and reproducible system that I know will work in X, Y, and Z place. So that's what real science is. Real science is the nitty gritty. Getting down and dirty. It's going to Walmart till 2 in the morning. Checking the shininess of a floor. People looking at you and going, "Why are you checking the water on the floor?" People always think that we're checking the water on the floor. And it's gotten to the point where we go, "Yep, we're just checking the water on the floor." And actually tonight we're doing an added thing where we're not only checking the gloss of the floor with a machine. The machine's great because it's a machine. It spits out an objective number that you can do endless analyses on. It gives you standard deviation of your measurements, so you're not just going. But tonight we're trying to add a second element of so that's kind of quantitative data. Now we're trying to add a qualitative aspect of it. So, like I mentioned last week, me and my two coworkers took the 240 readings. Tonight we're going to be judging a floor, basically on a 1 to 5 scale of how many imperfections it has in it. So we're not only checking the machine's accuracy and how it measures data, but we're also checking our eyes and how good we are at checking the data. So, I've been working with these guys. I've been working at the company for about 5 years now, but I've only been working with this team for about a year and a half. And trust me, from the year and a half to now, we've gotten a lot better at being cohesive in our evaluation skills. There was a time where all three of us could look at the same floor and come back with different answers. Now that's not the case. Now we all basically know what we're looking at. So, that tone on the phone needs time to go. So again, second week of May, Bombastic Bill, live from Amsterdam. All right, thank you guys.